Hello class, a very warm welcome to this geography class. Today we are going to start chapter 8, Human Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. In this chapter you will study about human environment, settlements, transport, communication. About human environment. In history, we have studied that the men started life as normal gathering and hunting for food. They lived in nature and then they started to take benefit of the natural resources to fulfill their needs and living comfortably. Thus, they created man-made environment. In this way, the human environment consists of both natural and man-made environment. Natural environment includes both physical and biological compounds. On the other hand, human environment is formed by human beings and includes their creation. In this chapter, we will study about the specific aspects of human environment related to settlements, transportation and communications. Settlements. Settlement means cluster of houses or groups of houses. Settlement in residence of humans. Early humans led a nomadic lifestyle, moving from one place to another in search of food. Thus, their settlements were temporary. With the passage of time, human beings learned the art of agriculture and farming. Gradually, the concept of settlements came into being. Temporary shelters were built near the areas where land could be cultivated for temporary stay. The settlements were made with the help of branches of trees. Houses were covered with leaves. After the Stone Age, settlements were occupied seasonally. Now, human beings started changing their settlements with the change of season. In those areas where climatic conditions were suitable, the number of settlements were more and they were close to each other. This is the image of temporary settlement and this is the image of permanent settlement in buildings. The discovery of fire, iron and wheel were big steps towards civilization. The tools became more sophisticated and the farmers started cultivating crops near the river banks like Nile or Indus Valley. With the passage of time, human beings learned new ways of farming. Now they started living a settled life as crops required constant care throughout the cropping period. People were not required to wander in search of food and could afford to settle down at one place. Hence, building of permanent shelters, domestication of animals, and use of clothes made of fibers became a part of human life. With the advancement of science and technology, human beings have been able to modify their natural environment as per their needs. They became able to protect themselves from harsh temperature, chilly winds, and rough terrain. It provided privacy also. With the expansion of agricultural activities, domestication of animals, mining, and industrialization, the natural environment have been adversely affected. It has shrunk the green belt area. Pollution as well as defective method of plowing have resulted in ecological imbalance, which should be a matter of concern to all of us. This image is showing the invention of wheel, making permanent settlements. The following factors are responsible for making permanent settlement. First, availability of water. Most of the civilizations developed near river valleys, such as Indus Valley civilization. Even today, water is an important resource for the growth of villages and towns. In desert areas as well, the houses are clustered around the sources of water. This source may be a well pond or an oasis. Settlements which grow around a source of water are known as wet point settlements. Relief features. These play an important role in the development of a settlement. Plains are favorable location for the establishment of settlement. Here it is easy to have a good transport network which makes it possible for the people to move easily from one place to another. In India also, many towns and cities have developed in northern plains. In these areas, settlements are more compact. On the other hand, in highland areas where the nature of land restricts easy movements, the population is less. It results in a few and isolated settlements. Third, special sites. Some sites are chosen for the settlements due to their natural beauty. This is the image of settlements in plains. These towns are called tourist-based towns and provide employment to a large number of people. In India, Kashmir, Goa, Shimla, Nainital, Ooty, etc. are some of these sites. All the factors given above are related to one another. When we are looking at a land, As a determining factor for a settlement, water cannot be ignored. Similarly, the culture, the special setup, and the other environmental aspects are also important factors. Transportation. Since early times, people moved from one place to another in search of food. At first, humans carried their loads themselves. They were replaced by pack animals, followed by carts, and later steam and internal combustion engines were added to vehicles. This made the movement faster and more efficient. Transportation is the act of moving people or goods from one place to another, which also influences the social development. There is a great impact of transport on the economic development of a place. We know that transport system connects cities and towns with one another. It can help the people to send the surplus production to different markets and in return help the country in its economic growth. Lack of transport facilities make a place backward, such as Zaire Basin and Tundra region. On the other hand, some regions of the world such as Indo-Gangetic plains of India and industrial regions of Europe are very well developed. Proper transport facilities also help us to open up remote areas or inaccessible areas of the world. For the industrialization of a place, transportation is very helpful. Raw materials can be easily transported from the mining areas or farms to the factories. Modes of transportation. There are following 5 modes of transportation: roadways, railways, waterways, airways, and pipelines. First, roadways. It is used for movement of passengers and goods from one place to another for shorter distance. It provides door-to-door service. Roads help in the transportation of perishable items like fruits and vegetables to distant markets with speedy movement. This is the image of roadway. This map is showing India's road network. In hilly areas, road transport plays an important role. In these areas, other means of transport are very tough and expensive. A well-developed road transport system reduces the social and economic distance among the people of different cultural backgrounds. Though the network of roads is spread throughout the world, but the density of roads is not the same everywhere. Economically and industrially developed countries have better network of roads than the developing and poor countries. India has a large network of roads and has many national and state highways. The latest development is the construction of Golden Quadrilateral, which will connect Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Manali-Leh highway is one of the highest roadways in the world. The underground roads are called subways. The important highways in the world are: first, Trans-Canadian Highway between Vancouver and St. John's City. Second, Transcontinental Stuart Highway between Darwin and Melbourne in Australia. Second, railways. It is virtually called the lifeline of our country. It is used for the movement of bulky goods and large number of passengers for longer distances. It brings people closer from the farthest corners of the country. Railway provides the most comfortable and less expensive mode of transport. Earlier, trains were run with coal engines, but now they are run by diesel and electrical engines. The electrification of railway has resulted in reduced pollution and has helped in the carrying of more number of passengers from one place to another. Railways are not only restricted within the boundaries of our country, it is transcontinental also. This is the map of Trans-Siberian Railway. Transcontinental Railway link one part of a continent to another. The largest railway line in the world is the Trans-Siberian Railway that links St. Petersburg to Vladivostok in Russia. The Canadian Pacific Railway connects Halifax in the Atlantic coast to Vancouver in the Pacific coast. The Trans-Indian Railway line links Buenos Aires in the Argentina with Valparaiso in Chile. The Trans-Australian Railway line runs between Sydney and Perth. This is the image of railways and this is the image of Delhi Metro. India has the second largest railway network in Asia. With the advancement of technology, fast-moving trains like Rajdhani, Shatabdi, etc. have been introduced for the local movement of people over shorter distances. Railways such as Metro in Kolkata, Delhi are very popular. Third, waterways. It is the cheapest mode of transport for heavy and bulky goods. Waterways are very beneficial for those countries which are located near the river banks, navigable canals or the sea. The big ships can carry more passengers and goods from one country to another. Nowadays, large and mechanical ships are equipped with all modern facilities. International trade is carried on mainly through water transport. Waterways are of two types, inland waterway and ocean routes. This is the image of ship and boat. You can say these are inland waterways. In North America, the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Waterway is the largest and the busiest inland waterway in the world. It serves the major industrial region of the USA and Canada. Another important waterway is formed by the Mississippi River and its many tributaries. The Rhine is the most important waterway in Europe. The Seine and Loire rivers of France, the Danube River of Eastern Europe, and the Volga River of Russia are also busy waterways. In Africa, most rivers are not navigable as they fall over the edge of the plateau and have a number of waterfalls. Only the lower course of the Nile River is useful as an inland waterway. Though the Amazon River of South America is the largest in the world, it is not important as commercial waterways. This is because a great part of it flows through dense tropical rainforests which are uninhabited. Australia does not have any large navigable rivers. In Asia, Yangtze Kiang in China, Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Irrawaddy in Myanmar are the major rivers which are used as inland waterways. In many countries, navigable rivers have been interlinked by constructing canals. Some of them are Rhone, Rhine Canal, Kiel Canal, Baltic and White Sea Canal in Europe and Erie Canal in USA. Mechanized ships carry a large number of people and goods to distant places. That is why they are also known as floating towns. Ocean routes. Ocean transport is the cheapest means of carrying heavy and bulky goods from one continent to another. International trade is largely dependent on the ocean routes. The important ocean routes are: first, North Atlantic route. It connects the eastern part of North America with the Western Europe. It is the busiest ocean route in the world as both sides of the North Atlantic are densely populated and highly industrialized. Mediterranean Suez Indian Ocean route. It is the second most important sea route connecting Europe with East Africa, South Asia, Australia and the Far East. This map is showing major sea routes and ports of the world. Cape of Good Hope route. Prior to the construction of the Suez Canal, it was used to connect Western Europe with India, the Far Eastern countries and Australia. Nowadays, it is used to link Western Europe and the West African countries. Panama Canal route. It connects the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean. The greatest advantages of this is that it connects the east and the west coast of the USA. It also links the Far East with the West European countries. South Atlantic route. It connects Western Europe with the eastern part of South America. Some of the important ports of the world are New York, Los Angeles, London, Rio de Janeiro, Cape Town, Tokyo and Hong Kong. Fourth, airways. It is the latest and fastest means of transport. Airways has in a way reduced distances and converted the world into one unit. This means of transport is highly suitable for those areas where railways and roadways cannot be constructed because of difficult terrain. It is most expensive. It depends greatly on weather conditions. Storms, rains and fogs are great hindrances to air travel. The major cities of the world are connected through air routes. Domestic airways fly within the boundaries of a country while the international airways carry passenger and cargo to other countries. The greatest volume of air traffic is found in the USA, followed by the West European countries like UK, France and Germany. Russia, India, Japan, Australia, South Africa and Brazil also have important domestic and international air routes. Some of the important international airports of the world are New York, Chicago, Washington DC, Los Angeles, London, Paris, Berlin, Rome, Moscow, Rio de Janeiro, Cairo, Tokyo, Singapore, Delhi and Mumbai. Fifth, pipeline. It is the most recent mode of transport. The pipelines are being used for the transportation of liquid and gaseous material like mineral oil, water and natural gas. This map is showing the major air routes of the world. Solids in slurry form. Iron ore, rock phosphate are also transported from one place to another over long distances. For example, from HBJ Kandla to Mathura through these pipelines. These are the images of pipelines. Communication. Communication means exchange of ideas and views from one person to another. It can be at personal as well as mass level. It involves sending and receiving messages. Also, personal communication is used when a few people are involved. The means of personal communication include post office, telegraph, teleprinter, telephone, fax, and email. Mass communication means communication with several people at a time. The means of mass communication include books, magazines, newspapers, radio, television, and films. Communication networks have become very important for exchanging knowledge and ideas, which in turn contribute to the economic development. It also helps in developing social relationship and unity. During natural calamities like floods, drought, etc., the means of instant communication such as TV, radio, etc. Flash news so that relief could be rushed to the spot immediately. These are the images of telephone, internet logo, and television. In older times, pigeons were used to send messages to different places. Then the services like post and telegraph, newspapers, magazines, radio, telephone, etc. were developed. Today, satellite is the most powerful medium of communication in the world. It provides television services even in the remote areas of the country. Computer is yet another great invention by man. It has revolutionized the process of communication through email, internet, CDs, pen drive, laptop, palm top, etc. We can get any information about the entire world while sitting at home using computers. The world has today become a small pay. Information is at our fingertips, and communicating with anybody anywhere in the world is just a click of button away through mobile phones and emails. Summing up, population density, the ratio of a population given to a unit of area. Transcontinental railways, railways that link one part of a continent to another part of continent to another. Communication, the process of sending and receiving messages and ideas. A settlement is a place where people live and carry out variety of activities. A rural settlement in which the majority of people are involved in agriculture and related activities. The urban settlements are classified according to their dominant functions: administration, defense, cultural, individual, market, mining, port, resort, and residential. Thank you, class. Let's meet in the next chapter.